Uh-oh. Mic check. Mic.
I updated my OBS again. Every time I update it, breaks everything. Then I have to refix it. So we've just been talking to ourselves for the last like 10
That's
minutes.
alright.
That's fun.
Rip.
Who cares? We're
That'd
here.
be alright. Yeah, we're here.
All right, go back to what you're saying,
Yeah, so I was saying, like, you know how Kurt would leave from a team and go to another team, and then that previous team would win, and then Kurt would jump to another team, and that previous team would win. I kind of feel that like that with Parker Kligerman now, with building the teams, and no discredit to Nick Sanchez, because when he was running that race, what he did was kind of impressive. With the full lineup of JRM behind him, he had RCR behind him. He was making passes. He was, you know, yeah, I felt like Sanchez actually drove the wheels off that car for what it's worth. But um, I think that there's a big credit here that needs to be had out for Parker Kligerman, and that's really my take on Sanchez.
I don't know. I like Sanchez ever since him and he got all bloodied up with that Crafton scuffle at Talladega a couple years
Oh,
ago.
that was
Old
awesome.
dirty Sanchez, dude. I
The
like
Dirty
it.
Sanchez.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, yeah, like you said, he did a great job at the end because he was holding off. I mean, the best. I mean, he was holding off to JRM cars with Quapple and Zilich, and then JGR with Almirola and Taylor Gray, and then obviously Jesse Love. Even with damage, Jesse Love was fast at the end. I mean, he's just him, at this manufacturer type of racing. And then on the Cup Series, Chase Elliott wins. I put Atlanta's garbage. Changed my mind. Um, I can't stand this track, Tom. I can't.
Big Garbo.
It's so bad. It's so trash. I mean, we guess we could talk about what we were talking about before we went live, but I honestly think that if you enjoy Atlanta, you need to go see like a mental doctor. I'm not saying I'm a doctor or even licensed to tell you to go find medical help because I'm probably the furthest person from that to be able to tell you to do that, but I seriously question your ability to understand logic and have a stable mind if you thought that was a good racing this weekend in Atlanta.
Yeah, like like what we were talking about earlier too. I honestly think that there is a point to be made. Um, you know, they NASCAR kind of guys or kind of disguises their racing product as edge of your seat, and we want to make it as interesting for the fans. They never say that they want to manufacture racing outcomes or anything, or crashes, etc., etc. But that's exactly what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what they're doing. They're catering to a small, specific group of people who watch these broadcasts, who want to be on the edge of their seat, cheer on the people that they dislike, that they hate, when they crash and watch their driver win. That's why
Mm-hmm.
we got stages. That's why we got this underbody. That's why we got restricted horsepower for pack racing. That's why we got the single
Increased amount
lug
of
nut to
drag.
create drama on the pit road. It's far from racing, in my opinion. But I just think that this I guess you'd say company is just catering to that, and it's just not racing. It's just not racing.
No, it's
And
completely
also,
not
like what we
race
were
racing.
talking about earlier too, is and it might be just because of I'm getting older and I can appreciate some other things. Is I can actually appreciate when a car goes on track and just absolutely spanks the field, because that tells you that the preparation that went into that vehicle, to that car, to the driver, to the engineers, the preparation was so much better than anybody else around them. They're on it. They took all the necessary steps to ensure that their vehicle was going to be the best. And honestly, I can appreciate that, because to go out on a racetrack and just kind of be like, ah, man, I don't know what we're gonna run this weekend. Everything's just so crazy. It's all up in the air. If you were a crew member on a team like that, wouldn't it just feel like dejecting every time you'd walk into the racetrack? Like, don't you want to see your guy up at the top just absolutely spanking the field? Like, the competition of it all. That is what you want to see. You want to see these guys wanting to get to the track early, wanting to stay at the track late, working on their vehicles, trying to gain an edge or an advantage over anybody else. So then they can go out there on the race weekend, pound their chest. We've got the best car, we've got the best driver, we've got the best team, and go home feeling like they're king of the hill. I just don't feel like it's like that anymore.
I don't feel like it's that way anymore either. Well, and we said it too. It's like NASCAR's done such a in-depth job of trying to make everything more parity driven. Everything's the same. There's no superstars anymore. It's just everything's the same. It's not. I mean, IndyCar. I mean, sure, it's a spec car, but it feels like an IndyCar. It's like the better drivers always and the better teams, like you said, the ones that put in the more time, the more preparation, the ones that spend more time in the simulator. They design their own race cars, make adjustments to race cars. Those are the ones that always seem to find themselves to the top. That's why you see the same 5 or 6 names every week on an IndyCar weekend cycle to the front of the field. I mean, those are that's your top cream of the crop in the IndyCar, so you don't see that in Cup Series.
Well,
And it's hard. It is disheartening to watch, right? Because like you want to see the best teams perform good. You want to see dominance.
and you know, you could make the argument, well, back in the early 2010s, we had the COT car. Everything was well, there were so many aspects of the racing series then that really promoted, just the hardcore racing aspect. They had a shit ton of horsepower. They had no grip. You know,
None.
these cars were savable in a slide. You know, they were extremely safe. We never had, not that I can recall, a serious injury or career-ending injuries in these cars. Elliott Sadler survived a Pocono wreck that was the most horrific thing I've ever seen in my
Oh
life.
my god. He'd have been dead in this car. 100%.
Absolutely, he would have been dead. You know, Ryan Newman would have been dead at Daytona if he was in this car.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I just there's so many aspects. Like there was no gimmicks, there was no stages, there was no awarding points for stages, there was no single lug nut wheels,
No
there
playoff
was no
system.
underbody, no well there was a playoff system, but
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
it wasn't.
it's not like it was today.
Yeah, it's not. Let a win and you're in. You know,
Yeah, exactly.
advance and move on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, there's different aspects because I see people bringing that up. Well, what's different? What's the difference between now and the COT cars? They're the same. Well, the apples and oranges at this point, right? Like, there's just so much difference now, between the next gen and the COT. So, I don't know. I think we're on the same page here. It's so tiring to talk about. It's
It
just
is.
like mentally, it's just hard to talk about.
Yeah. And that's another thing that's just been irritating me. I've gotten a lot of fights on the internet with some random freaking retards, man, to be honest with you. I mean, it's been bad.
You can't say that, Jay. You can't say that.
I don't even care, dude. They are 100%. You're mentally challenged, bro. To say that this was good racing because and the thing is they're like they say, oh, all the passing and all the side-by-side racing. They don't realize that it's manufactured. It's fake.
Yeah.
It's not real. It's placebo. It's all in your head. These cars create so much drag. They don't have a lot of power. So if you're leading the field, you're just going to be slow. You're slower than the guys behind you. But then when you get side by side with them, you get the same effects of the drag that the leader has. So you get pulled back. It's just a giant rubber band for 3 hours, you know, and that's what they think is exciting. And it's like, that's fake. It's not real. Like it's in your head what you're watching. You're being gaslit to believe that is the most exciting racing there is, but it's not because it's not really racing. It wouldn't be any different. What did Tony Stewart used to say? He's like, we're racing here. We're not passing. We're racing. He's like, if you want to see passing, we can go out to the I-10 and we could just trade positions back and forth all day. And that's passing. If that's what you want to see, let's do that. That's what I feel like when I watch Atlanta, dude. I feel like I'm literally sitting next to Tony Stewart telling me, We're here. We're racing here. And we're not practicing. We're not, like that. You could go do what you did at Atlanta. You could do that on your public road, dude, at 35 miles an hour with all the traffic on rush hour. That's all it is, man. That's not racing, dude. Like, I don't know. It just irritates me. And then I say again, it's like, would these people think that this race was a good race if Chase Elliott didn't win the race? Like, if Chase Elliott wins the race, like Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, like these favorites win the race, right? Then the polls always get deflated and fans think it's a great race. Well, let's say Ty Dillon, BJ McLeod, Hosen Karsavar, Recce Roundhouse. One of those guys wins this race. Do you think the polls is good? No. And then Tom, you said before the podcast too, if there was no wrecks in this race, would that have skewed the poll? 100% it would have skewed the poll if it was a caution-free race, Like, that's where the priorities are, man. Like, you get in Atlanta, let's say next year we go to Atlanta, we have no wrecks and Roundhouse wins. That race is getting a terrible rating, bud. It's getting a terrible rating. And it's the same racing. It's the same damn thing. Nothing's different. It's just, yeah. And then they say handling's a big issue. It reminds me of old Daytona and old Talladega from the early 2000s. It's like, in those races, the field, it was like more like modern 8500s where the field kind of drops off one by one as the race goes on, as the cars change and teams make adjustments. The better drivers and better cars cycle themselves to the front and it drops off the field. Now you've got, if nobody wrecks, you got 40 cars still in a pack racing for the win. That's not what we want to see. We want to see the best cars cycle to the front. We want to see the best cars battle. We want to see who did the best adjustments at the end of the race, who made the right strategy calls. Which driver is able to drive his car that's got worn out tires better than the guy the next to him that's got worn out tires. That's racing. That's not what we have. We have manufactured interstate driving,
Yeah.
Yeah. It's garbage. I hate Atlanta. I'm done talking about it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the races because I sure as hell didn't. And if you guys want to tell me in the comments that I'm an idiot, we can go, man. We can go at it. I'll just laugh back at you. All right, Lime Rock this weekend for ARCA and trucks, man. I didn't get to watch these races in full. I just watched like the highlights, and then I watched a little bit of it yesterday, the truck race. Corey Heim just dominated the truck race, man. That was a dominant performance. Not only did he dominate it, but here's another thing, Tom, that really frustrates me about these races when the Cup and Xfinity are off somewhere else, and then the trucks are somewhere else. The non-competitive pit stops, man.
Yeah,
this can't be a thing in NASCAR, dude. Like, this is just ruins it.
It cannot be. I said it from the first year when ARCA went non-competitive. That was a problem. It's such a cornerstone or a stepping stone for some people to get into the sport, to get their foot into the sport. When we've got ARCA and the Truck Series and the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series all playing together on a weekend, or some here, some there, whatever. ARCA is still with trucks or with Xfinity or with Cup. Man, that's a huge opportunity for these people to start moving up and putting their name out there, man. It's the thought process there is just, well, it's not there. It's not there at all. It also, that's a very continuing trend that NASCAR keeps going in, but I don't understand it. It's non-competitive. What the hell is non-competitive in a competitive sport?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't like it.
Get it.
It's a terrible look. It creates no strategy.
It's
we have
soft.
no green flag pit stops.
Soft.
It's so soft, dude. It is. It's so soft, man. It's so bad. It's like, I don't even know how to put it into any other reference. It just makes no sense to me, dude. Like, why would, how many freaking pit schools are in North Carolina, in Mooresville itself? There's like 3 or 4 different pit schools. You could literally, and those dudes would do it for free. Just stick them on the team plate. They would just be there if you handed them a freaking peanut butter and jelly sandwich and said, pit this car, we'll fly home tonight, they would freaking jump in that plane today, dude. They'd be there.
There's a lot of people that do it for free. I know that because I would have done it for free.
Oh, shit, I would have done it for free. Hell yeah.
I would have done it for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Exactly.
Go to the gas station, give me a Monster and a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm good, man.
I'm done.
You
Yeah,
know,
I'm
like
there.
I'll drink water out of the hose at the racetrack. I don't care. You know.
I'm with you, dude. Like, and I would make it just as fair because they're all amateurs anyway. It's not like you're bringing in ex NFL players to pit the cars. You're bringing in
Here's what you do, Jay.
volunteers.
Here's a great idea. Why doesn't the ARCA series team up with a pit school and use that pit school for free pit stops while you give the people who are doing pit stops experience on pit road?
Yeah,
Sounds
makes
like a
perfect
win-win to
sense.
me.
Makes 100% win to me.
You know,
And there's only what 20 ARCA cars on a good weekend anyway.
yeah.
And it's not even like you have to put tires and fuel at the same time. Like you could do what they used to do in the, or you could do what IMSA does, right? Like one
Yeah,
pit
just do what
stop, you
IMSA
could
does.
come in and bring tires. Next pit stop, you come in and put the fuel in the car. You know,
Or
like
you just keep it all in one and just separate the two. Like you
that.
just do
Yeah,
tires
that too.
first and then fuel, or
And then
fuel and then
fuel,
tires.
then tires. Yeah, and then you'd only need like
whatever.
4 guys to
Yeah,
pit the car.
Yeah. But then again, you're utilizing these guys for free, so why don't you mimic like a cup stop or something?
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I know. It makes no sense to me. That's the one thing I
There's
just don't like about
so many
those races.
opportunities.
Yeah. And that's what I'm worried when I go, like in Portland. I want to go to the Xfinity Series race, but it's going to be non-competitive pit stops there too. And it's like, why? You know, it's like
So
you took all
stupid.
that effort to get all those cars down to Portland just so we could run a race with non-competitive pit stops. Makes no sense. Like non-competitive pit stops are for your local short track, dude. That's for people that can't even afford to get in the damn gate to even race, bro. That's what those are for. They're not for the top echelon series of NASCAR, like the Xfinity Series and Truck Series having non-competitive pit stops. Get off it with that, bro. Shoot, I just lost your volume for some reason. I'm having all kinds of difficulties today. All right, I think you're back. Nope. Maybe it's my headset. I shouldn't have did it. I updated OBS. I shouldn't have done it. I knew this was going to happen every time. Okay, you're back. I can hear you again.
All right. Yeah, so you know, I just this you know, I don't know. This non-competitive stuff, you know, I said it from the beginning too when ARCA started first doing it. It's just a travesty to the sport. If you had any founding father of this racing series be able to be resurrected from the freaking ground to come back, man, they would absolutely lose their shit over something like this. I, I would, especially in the times that we're in nowadays. You got people who do it for free. You got some of the, I mean, I don't know.
I got
It's
an even
so
better
far
idea.
gone.
I got an
Okay.
even better idea, Tom. Next year we should do non-competitive races.
We're already there. The Cup Series.
This
We're
week
already
in the
there.
NASCAR Cup Series, we're having the non-competitive Racing Series 500 at Daytona.
Yeah, we'll call it the Hung Money 500.
The Hung Money 500. If you pass a car, you get black flagged. Your race is over. Non-competitive racing.
Probably not too far away, Jay.
Yeah,
Probably
I was
not
about
too
to
far
say
away.
it. We might be joking, but they're listening, dude. This might become a real thing next year, dude. Oh man. I do want to talk about Jason Kitzmiller in the ARCA series, man, with that ARCA break master move of the weekend.
Oh,
man. He
yeah.
just absolute. I mean, the fact that like the first 4 cars that went through that guy, or it was Ed Pompa, I think I don't even know his name, parked in the middle of the freaking turn, bro. Just parked there. 4 guys missed him before Jason Kitzmiller came in there like a freaking sack of potatoes, bro, and just absolutely TKO'd that car, man. That was just bad.
The Sidewinder heat-seeking missile. What was this? It wasn't the 70, was it? Kitzmiller, what was it?
Oh,
It
he's
doesn't matter.
97.
Whatever.
97, yeah.
97, that's right, yeah.
Yeah, the heat-thinking missile. Oh, man.
Yep.
That was pretty entertaining. And then
That
Brett
was.
Cruz got the restart violation at the end. It was really between him and Annunziata, but he ends up having the restart violation, hands the win over to Annunziata, which granted never even really heard of him until this weekend. I had to look him up before the podcast to figure out what he raced before, and I guess he's pretty uh successful in road racing and stuff, but gets a win in the ARCA series with an underfunded team. So that's big. I did
Yeah.
think Cruz was going to win, though. I really did. I think he would have if he didn't have the restart violation. You just can't do that, man. You can't make mistakes. So he said that last week. What was it? Hosen Karsovar last week at God, I can't remember where the cup was racing last week, but he
Oh
did the
my
same thing.
dude! During the Cup broadcast, you know what Larry Mack did? I forgot to bring this up.
Okay.
Larry Mack. Larry Mack called Carson Hocevar Hosen Karsovar.
Dude, Carl Edwards did the same thing, dude, a couple weeks ago. Dude, it's setting in, bro. We're starting a trend
It
here,
is.
bro. I'm saying it, man. I'm telling you, if
I
he
heard
doesn't
him.
change his name, he needs to, bro. Like,
I heard him say that, and I was like, no shit. He said it. He said it.
oh man, I love it, dude. Yeah, I
It's
remember
great.
it was a couple weeks ago when Edwards said, I think they were racing at Nashville, and he's like, Hosen Karsovar or Carson or Hosen Carson Hosevar. I was like, damn, Carl, spit it out, dog. oh man, I thought that was funny. All right, let's talk about the F1 race. Like I said, it wasn't the most exciting race, but I mean, Carlos Sainz didn't even get a chance to start the race. I mean, basically, car wouldn't fire on the initial lap. Then he goes to grid, and then obviously by not being able to match the grid by the time the start happened, he had to go start from pit lane. And then his car just absolutely catches on fire, dude. It was
Dude,
absolutely wild.
it's like he never left Ferrari.
Dude, it's crazy, bro. I love those memes too, man. oh man. That's funny though, dude. Like he's been having a decent year, I would say, with Williams. Williams is really taking a step forward this year, but damn, dude. And a bad luck that happens, it always happens to Carlos Sainz. It's crazy. I mean, granted, Albon did not finish this race either. He had mechanical issues. They had to retire the car, but he was running in the points when that happened. Carlos Sainz didn't even get a start, bro. That's rough. That's rough. Unbelievable. And then, oh man, this one I had to nominate as Bonehead of the Week because I don't put all the blame on Antonelli on this situation, but
it's all him.
Watching from the onboard, dude, I 100% see what he did. Like, it makes perfect sense on why he did what he did. But then you watch it from like all the other onboards and like the view from the outside, and it's like, what the hell are you thinking, bro? Like, I don't know. It didn't feel like he misjudged the corner because that's like the normal braking zone if you were out there by yourself. But we're on lap 1. We're like turn 3, and you're going to brake in your normal qualifying braking zone when the pack's still bunched up and everybody's trying to sort through positions off the initial start. That's where it becomes boneheaded to me.
Look, here's what I'll say about it. I've been a huge Kimi fan since Italy of last year. And I'll say it. This was 100% on Kimi. I don't know how you lose focus that bad on lap 1, turn 3. He did it. I mean, obviously, he's 18 years old and, probably just, young, dumb, and full of other things. And he just lost it. He just lost it. I mean, that was probably just one of the dumbest things that, it's probably the dumbest thing he's ever done. Probably. But that was just dumb. That was straight up dumb. And I'm a pretty big Kimi Antonelli fan. But I'll call a spade a spade. I don't care.
If you would have braked 10 feet sooner,
would have been fine.
They'd all made it through perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He killed it. But also, Jay, I think this is a defining moment. Right there, turn 3, lap 1. That was the nail in the coffin for Max Verstappen.
Oh yeah,
he's not coming back.
No, he's not. It's over. Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
It's 100% over.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's over.
It's over.
Yeah. He needed to. The only chance he had was to maintain through the summer and score points along with the McLarens to be able to put himself in position. But now, not scoring points at Austria, it's over.
It's over. It's the nail in the coffin. He can't come back from that.
Yeah, it's It's like I say, or you said it's over, and it's between Lando and Piastri now,
And
and
yeah.
that's what I want to talk about next. I'm glad you kind of led us into that because uh I can't stand McLaren. Still to this moment, I don't understand the
uh,
strategy here, Tom. It doesn't make
uh,
any freaking sense to me, dude. Lando is the leader, gets preferred strategy. I'm okay with that. I
yeah.
understand that. That makes sense to me, right? But to pit him and then wait 4 laps after Piastri had to lock up his tire and get a flat spot trying to pass Lando, who was putting on an absolute freaking kidney stone block job on him, and then to make Piastri run an extra 4 laps on a flat spotted tire, and then pit him 4 laps later after he's lost all this time, and then to fuck up his pit stop too. I mean,
That was deliberate. There were, you can't even
100%.
yeah, you can't argue against it. That was 100% deliberate. That was a team order saying Lando Norris is going to win this race.
100%. That was even McLaren. I would even take that a step further. I think that was McLaren saying, "Hey, Oscar, you ain't winning this world championship, bud. You ain't winning this fucking world championship, bud. Lando's our number one guy. He's winning this championship, and we're not gonna let you have any strategy. If Lando continues to outqualify Piastri, Piastri's cooked. He's never gonna win again. It's over. Like Piastri just needs to settle down.
We can rewind back to qualifying, and there was a lot that happened during qualifying.
Oh, sure.
What Lando was the only car to get 3 laps in, or 2 laps in, or whatever it was the only car to get that lap in that
Mhm.
counted the most. So of course there'd be a half a second gap between him and the rest of the field. That doesn't showcase his, exquisite, as the freaking British would say, exquisite driving style, brilliant driving style. No, that has nothing to do with it. It has to do with the circumstances that allowed that 4 car to get where he was. There was also some other happenings, like Oscar Piastri getting held up by the Alpine on his flying lap. There was Mercedes not being able to get a lap in. George Russell was going to contend
Oh,
for the
100%.
pole. He
100%.
was fast. He was very fast. So, I don't. This perform like qualifying really I kind of feel like kind of screwed this race because it did put Lando up front, and then the theatrics that we saw after it with McLaren favoring Norris with the pit strategies and just screwing everything else up right there. That, like, Mercedes, Ferrari, they didn't even stand a chance. Um, I don't know. It was just kind of a weird race weekend, you know.
Yeah, I agree. Well, I don't know, man. The F1 strat or qualifying anyway has always felt like kind of gimmicky ever since it went the Q1, 2, 3 route. Like I think they should do what IndyCar does, and they should just let every car go out and do 2 laps and do a 2 lap average, and that's how you set the field. Make it an hour session, and make it like Indy 500 where you get 2 lines, you get priority line, and then if you go into the second line, then you erase your last time qualifying, and then you go out and put up 2 more laps, and that's where you now qualify. Like, let's make it freaking interesting.
Just make it last gen qualifying, like how they had it beforehand,
No,
before
that
the
would work
Q1,
with
Q2,
me too.
Q3.
That'd be fine. But
Because we saw lots of theatrics with that. We saw shit that was almost as entertaining as the race itself.
yeah,
Everybody tuned into qualifying just because of how crazy and hectic it was.
yeah. No, I get it. I think a lot of it has to do with the TV and everything with the way they do
For sure,
qualifying now.
for
But
sure.
um, yeah, I guess that's just a great way to wrap up Pride Month with Lando and Elliott both winning in the final week of June.
Can't say that, Jay.
Oh man. How about Salva though? What a freaking run for Salva, dude. I think Salva is
They
going
are
to be the next big time team in
Williams.
F1 with
Yeah.
Audi coming in next year, and I feel like they finally have a good lineup. I mean, I've been pretty big on Bortoleto since the beginning, and he finally got himself some points this weekend. He finally looked like he was not a lost puppy out there to Nico Hulkenberg. He finally looked like he was taking that step forward to be that like next big thing in Formula One. So I did like that. And then Nico Hulkenberg, Hulkamania, still running wild as always. He's up in the points this weekend. And then Liam Lawson, dude. Ends up finishing P6. I mean, that was insane. I mean, I don't know, man. That's crazy. Red Bull's terrible, dude. Let's just be honest, dude. Like,
Yeah, it is. Um,
poor Yuki Tsunoda, man.
poor Yuki. His career's ruined, man. It's got to be that second car. I kind of shit on Liam Lawson a lot at the beginning of the year because I genuinely feel like Red Bull made the wrong decision of promoting him over Yuki in the first
I
place.
agree 100%. Yeah.
But that may have been a career saver for Liam Lawson.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, Liam Lawson would have been cooked. He would have been done. He would have been in IndyCar. Yeah.
Yep.
And now Yuki kind of got the bad end of the stick, and Yuki was scoring points with RB, and now he can't even.
Yeah, he can't even get into the top 15.
I mean, he's getting outrun on a weekly basis by Haas, Williams, and Sauber. Like,
yeah,
the only car that Yuki can beat is Stroll. That's the only one.
Well, Princess Peach and her go-kart could beat him, but Sauber has scored more points than Red Bull in the past 5 races too.
It's crazy.
That's insane,
dude. That's crazy. I'm excited though for the future of like Haas, Williams, and Sauber. Like all 3 of those teams, it feels like they've all like it feels like the mid-pack battle has gotten closer to the front of the field battle. Like it just feels like we're like closer now than we've ever been in Formula 1 with the entire grid. It's crazy how that is. Like insane to me to even think about. Like that now Williams, Sauber, and Haas can one of those, or even Cash App, the freaking RB get one free team. Like any of those teams can score points on any given race weekend. And it's in the last like 5 years, it was like both Ferraris, both Red Bulls, both Mercedes, and both McLarens were going to score. And then it was like Aston Martin with Fernando was going to score. And then it was like maybe one of those teams would score the final point. Now it's like we had points by RB this weekend. We had points from Haas and from Sauber this weekend. And I think Williams would have scored points if Albon didn't and Sainz didn't catch fire in their races. Like crazy what F1 is now, man. Like it's actually insanely entertaining. Like what we've gotten into. The last 2 years have been nuts. Standings, we got Norris is 15 points behind Piastri, and then like you said, Verstappen, I think he's cooked 61 points back. I mean, that's like 3 races right there. And that's if Piastri and Norris pull some Rosberg Hamilton,
yeah,
type shit the next few weeks. And then for constructors, this is where it gets good because Ferrari now leaps ahead of Mercedes after this weekend. They have a 1-point advantage over Mercedes for second, and then Red Bull's 48 back and fourth. So I think it's between Mercedes and Ferrari for that P2 and the constructors, and I mean it feels like one race Ferrari's gonna beat them, and the next race McLaren or Mercedes beats them. It's like that's hard to predict, man. I don't know who's gonna finish second in the standings after this year with that for that second place with the Ferrari and Mercedes. It's gonna be an absolute nail biter all the way down to the end. That's all I have for the race this weekend. Is there anything else I missed?
Yeah, Ty Dillon.
Oh yeah, talk about Ty Dillon.
Dude, his post-race comments are freaking awesome. I dig it. When he said, to all the Denny Hamlin fans, I beat your favorite driver. I love it. I think that was awesome. What a freaking quote, man. What a freaking quote. I love it.
What an upset, man.
It really was. 30-second beat first.
I mean, just talk about the big names that got wrapped out of that, dude. Like, Blaney destroyed.
Yeah.
Hamlin destroyed. Cindric destroyed. Larson, Bell, Logano, like all the favorites got wiped out. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy. All right.
Yep. That's all I wanted to say with that.
Yeah, that was pretty priceless. And speaking of Ty Dillon, driver of the week, Ty Dillon, P8 in the Cup Series. Liam Lawson, P6 in F1, as well as Gabriel Bortoleto in P8 in F1. I thought those were some good runs this weekend. Boneheads, Jason Kitzmiller, Arca Brake Master. I dominated old Dickie because not only does he talk so much shit, he got beat and caused the big one all in the same deal this weekend. So great job, Dickie. And then Kimi Antonelli wipes out Max Verstappen. Gave you our opinion on that. Those polls will be up for you guys to vote after the podcast. I'd like to see what you guys think. Cup standings after this weekend for the bubble. Bowman is 16 points ahead of Bubba Wallace, who is 16th on the cut line. And then Priest is 17th on the cut or behind the cut line by 23 points. It's going to get interesting. Again, the win in your end system. Stupid. But what are you going to do? All right. This weekend, we've got Xfinity and Cup at Chicago, which is bound to be another absolute banger, as always. F1 at Silverstone. We'll see how that one goes this weekend. Last year was good. We've had some bad Silverstones. We've had some good Silverstones. We'll see how that goes this weekend. And then IndyCar. Again, like Mid-Ohio. You've had good Mid-Ohios and you've had bad Mid-Ohios. We'll see how that goes this weekend with IndyCar and NXT. Notable entries in the Xfinity Series race at Chicago. We have SVG driving for Junior Motorsports in the 9. Connor Mosack with SS Greenlight in the 14. Jack Perkins, another Aussie, coming to run here in the States for JGR in the number 19. Kaz Gralla will be racing for Sam Hunt Racing. And then Austin Green, I'm super excited for him in the number 32 for Jordan Anderson Racing. In the Cup Series, we've got Will Brown, another supercars driver racing this weekend from Australia with Colleague in the 13. Austin Hill getting a one-off Cup start on a road course with RCR. It seems like a really weird option there, but whatever. Josh Balicki with MBM in the 66. Corey Heim with 2311 in the 67. And then Catherine Legg in the number 78 for Live Fast. All right, Tom, let's make some picks and for favorites and dark horses for this weekend's races. We've got Saturday, the Xfinity Series, the Loop 110 at Chicago. Man, I think this will be a damn good race. We got Zilish and SVG going to be doing battle pretty much head-to-head. I think it's going to be between those two. I don't know what to expect from this race, man. Could we get weather to play into it? Maybe. I mean, it seems like weather's been a problem in Chicago the last 2 years. We've seen 2 really good Xfinity races the last couple of years at Chicago. SVG winning one of those. Who was the one that won their inaugural one? I'm trying to remember. I know who it wasn't. It wasn't Creed. We can roll one of them out.
or probably Brandon Jones. Probably not that guy.
Yeah.
I don't remember who won the first one. Probably Ty Gibbs.
Either. Oh, yeah, you're right. I think it was Ty Gibbs. Yeah. I don't know, man. I think it's going to be a good race. I'm really excited to see it. But I'm a homer, dude. I think Connor Zilish is the next best race car driver on planet Earth. I think it's going to be a freaking fantastic race to see him versus SVG in equal equipment on a track that SVG is going to be favored at. I think this is the moment Zilish just plants his flag and says, you know what, guys? I'm here now. I'm the next best thing. Start talking about me. I am him. And I think this weekend he does that. Zilish beats SVG head-to-head this weekend. He gets his 3rd win of the season. And then my dark horse, I'm going with Austin Green, man. This dude is an absolute superstar, dude. When I saw him make his Cups or his Xfinity debut a few years ago at Coda, when he took that complete dog water 3rd entry with Jordan Anderson Racing to a top 10 finish, I was like, this guy's got something. And then he backed it up again and again and again. And all he does when he makes these Xfinity starts on road courses, he always puts it in the top 10 every single time. I think he's going to be a factor in this race, Tom. I think he's going to be a top 10 threat all day long. I think he's a great dark horse pick. He's got that win in the ARCA series this year. He's got all that momentum that he's been carrying with him. I think Austin Green is a great dark horse pick this weekend.
I was going to choose Zilish too, but I think that it is going to be a race between SVG and Zilish, and so I'll go off the path here with Zilish, and I'm going to go with SVG as a favorite. He won it last year. He had an incredible battle with Larson. I think that we're going to see an incredible battle between SVG and Zilish, as long as we don't get some oval ringer in there trying to do what he can't do, and that's race on road courses. So we'll see how that works out. For dark horse, though, I'm gonna go with Perkins. I'm gonna veer off of my Sieg dark horse here because I just don't feel like he's gonna win the race. But Jack Perkins, I'm gonna go with Jack Perkins because of his road racing experience.
I'm excited to see what he can do. I think he's also going to be a factor this weekend. All right, and then on Sunday, we have the British Grand Prix. Last year, this was Mercedes' moment, dude. This is when Mercedes finally got back on the map. This is when they proved they were good. I think this is the race that we both say it all the time. I think this is the race that we finally saw Lewis Hamilton for the amazing driver he really is. It felt like he didn't have the fastest car that day, but he ran one of the most perfect races I've ever seen. I think we see that again this weekend. I think Mercedes was going to be a threat for qualifying, like you said at Austria. I think that Mercedes has really turned it around. I mean, we saw it at Canada, we saw it again this weekend to an extent in Austria, but Silverstone is that track that it's like the one every team wants to win. It's right in the backyard of Formula One. I think Mercedes puts a lot into this race. I think they're going to do that again this weekend. I think Russell's going to be a threat for the pole. And I say it all the time. George Russell is the best B driver in Formula One history. He has to be. I just don't even think it's even close at this point. And if he qualifies on the pole, George Russell's going to win this race. He will win this race if he qualifies on pole. Mercedes does not make mistakes on pit road. George Russell finishes where that car is supposed to finish 99% of the damn time. I'm taking George Russell this weekend. I'm taking Mercedes. I have a good feeling about it, and this will be his second win of the season. And then my dark horse, God, I went back and forth on this. I mean, there's so many good dark horse picks, man. You got Hulkamania running wild right now. You got Bortoleto climbing the ladder, being good. You've got Lawson resurrecting his career and putting the dump truck plow to the side. You got Albon having just an absolute career year. Ocon making Haas good again. What? Crazy. But that being said, I'm gonna go with Albon. I think last week with the DNF, I think that was a 1 in a million. Albon is the best of the mid-pack field right now. Better than his teammate Sainz. I think the Williams are better than the Salbas, better than the Haas's. They're better than the RB Cash App. Buy one, get one free team. I'm gonna go Albon as my dark horse this weekend to score some good points, maybe even a top 5 finish this weekend. I have a feeling, Tom, this weekend, I think we see some drama out of Lando and Piastri. Lando, this is hometown track, dude. He's going to be pressing. He sees that gap closing to Piastri. He knows he's got preferred strategy. He knows that he's the favorite, the golden boy at that team. Piastri challenges him at all. I think Norris is going to make a mistake again. We saw it at Canada when he pressed. If Piastri's going to press him again, I think we see more mistakes out of Lando. And I think this time it might take out both Lando and Piastri. I think we might see a little bit of that Rosberg-Hamilton-esque type of drama once again in Formula One.
Yeah, I thought about Mercedes for this weekend as well, and the only thing that really gets me is you just can't deny the speed that McLaren has right now. I think the only way that McLaren can really realistically lose this race is if it's driver error. We can see that out of Norris because it's happened a lot before, a lot. I'm just not too sure about Piastri. I think Piastri is going to have a great race weekend. If he can get that second lap in for qualifying, we have a sprint this weekend too, don't we?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. So, I think realistically, you can absolutely see Piastri on pole as long as there's no theatrics going on with sprint qualifying or anything like that, or qualifying. And I have this feeling that Mercedes is going to be pretty strong. But I'm going to go with Piastri just for my favorite. I feel like that McLaren's just the outright speed of that car for now, and Piastri's driving style is just peak at the moment. Just at the moment, I feel like, of course, anything can happen. I mean, we saw that in Austria, but I don't know. We'll see. It's kind of a question mark for me on what this race is going to be like. We've gotten some good Silverstones in the past couple years, especially last year. Last year blew me away. I thought that was probably one of the best races of the year. In all series worldwide. Honestly, I think that Silverstone probably, or Silverstone 24 are probably top 5 races of the year. But I'm gonna go with Piastri for my favorite. For my dark horse, though, I am gonna take a Mercedes driver. I'm gonna take Antonelli. I think he redeems himself from Austria. He comes to Silverstone. I'm not gonna deny that Mercedes probably gonna have a pretty fast car. I think they are gonna have a pretty fast car. And I think Antonelli has a chance here to redeem himself, and I think he will. And I think he's gonna get a good result this weekend.
Alrighty. Yeah, I think we're both on the same track here. I think it's between Mercedes and McLaren this weekend for sure. And
Yeah.
um, I really the only chance Mercedes has to win, I think, is a qualifying pole. They're not going to beat McLaren if they're not in front of them to start the race, and we'll see. Though strategies are weird. Dude, like you said, last year's Silverstone race was freaking wild, dude. I don't know, man. If we get another one of those, dude, anybody can win at this point, dude. This might be one of the craziest races.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we absolutely can get another 24 Silverstone in 2025.
Let's hope for that to happen because that'd be sick.
Yeah.
All right, and then Sunday we have the Indy NXT at Mid Ohio, the Grand Prix at Mid Ohio. I'm taking Dennis Hauger. There's nothing else to explain there. He's him, and he is dominant. He needs an IndyCar ride next year. And then my dark horse, I'm gonna go with Miles Rowe. I've just been a fan of him for a long time, and he's getting better. This year, I feel like he's caught his stride. He's got multiple podiums. He's right there in contention. And if Dennis Hauger or Lockie Hughes or Kyle Collette or any of those three guys that are kind of in front of him right now and kind of the only guys that he really has to beat because he's ahead of the rest of the pack. Maybe if something happens between them, maybe they miss the strategy, maybe they miss the setup on the cars because there is really not a lot of strategy with any NXT, but they missed the setup on the cars. Maybe they have a little bit of drama in turn one. Maybe Miles Rowe could still win this weekend.
All right, for my favorite, of course, it's Hauger. Again, you don't need to explain that. I mean, he is him. I think where Jay went wrong with what he said about going to IndyCar next year, he needs to go now.
Yeah,
that guy could probably that guy could probably win a race now. And if honestly, if I'm a Dale Coyne, if I'm a Prima, if I'm even shit, if I was Penske or Ganassi, man, I'd be looking at this guy, man. Like, it'd be a steal if Coyne or Prima could get him.
Yeah.
Or even Jukos. It's what's Stingray Rob doing, man? He's still the only recorded guy in history to flip a freaking car at Iowa. So so like he's got that against him at least.
Oh man.
But yeah, that guy's crazy. He's won the championship, let's be honest here. But let's go into dark horses. I can't choose Kyle Collette anymore because he won a race. So I'm gonna go with this Pearson guy. What, he's P5, P6 in points. He's doing pretty good. I guess I'll start following him since I lost Louis Foster. I've now lost Kyle Collette. I gotta follow somebody else now, so I'll go with Pearson.
Alrighty. I'm excited for this race. And NXT has been pretty entertaining this year. We've seen some weird stuff happen, so we'll see how this weekend goes at Mid Ohio. And then Sunday, the drama, the cinematic series on planet Earth, probably the best racing you will see all weekend, and that is probably being generous because they will be the best series you'll see all weekend. I mean, it's been cinematic this year. I mean, you can't make up what has happened in this IndyCar season. I know we've only had 2 winners, and a lot of people think it's boring and lame because of that. But we've had better racing with 2 winners this year than we did maybe a couple of years ago when we had like 8 different winners. It's just been freaking insane. The amount of stuff that's happened, like Hollywood scriptwriters couldn't write a movie more entertaining than what we've seen in real life and real actuality things happening than what we've seen this year in IndyCar. I think we see another cinematic race. Last year was pretty entertaining at the end with Palou versus Pat O'Ward. The strategies, they left McLaughlin in the dust, and it looked like McLaughlin might have had the best car at one point, and they ended up putting like 8 seconds on him at the end, and then Pato had to hold off Alex Palou, and it was like just cat and mouse, and the undercut between the two, and then watching Ray Hall completely shit all over himself and lose that race in the pit lane. I mean, just a great race last year. I think we have an even better one this year. And we said it before the podcast, Tom. The 3 guys to watch this year, all year in IndyCar so far, has been Lundgaard with the 7 team, Kirkwood with the 27 team, and then Palou with the 10 team. Those are the 3 guys every week. Those are the ones you got to watch for the win. I think it comes down to those 3 again. I wouldn't put any stock in any Penske cars. They've been just pretty much garbage this year. I would watch out maybe for a Dixon to maybe be a contender to steal one. Don't ever count out Meyer-Shank. Meyer-Shank has probably been the 3rd best team this year. In my opinion, they've been really good. And with that being said, I'm going to take Palou to win. Hello, Palou season. We're back on a road course, back in his favorite place to be. And then my dark horse, I'm going with Rosenquist, man. He finished P2 at Road America. He's had great runs this year. I think most races he finished in the top 10. They've got that alliance with Ganassi. I think Rosenquist is just this close, Tom, to finally winning a race. Why not this weekend in Mid-Ohio, man?
Yeah, that's a great point. For my favorite, again, it's kind of like Indie NXT. I feel like you just got to go Pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't think that there's really any other choice. Now, that's not saying that there's going to be other teams that's going to compete. I think McLaren's going to compete, and put me on a cross and crucify me, but by God, I think that RLL is going to have at least one car that's going to be competitive, and I think it's going to be Louis Foster. And then, honestly, McLaughlin. You got to watch McLaughlin too. I think he learned something last year. I think he's going to be able to apply it for this year. I don't know what the heck is going on with Penske this year, but
garbage.
By God, dude. This has got to be one of the worst years in existence for Penske. This is terrible. I don't know. The cheating, the inconsistent performances, the crashing before the green flag at the Indy 500,
pace.
the firings of half of their freaking management team. What a hell of a year for these guys. I mean, by God. But I don't know. I think that McLaughlin is the guy to turn this season around for Penske. I think he can do it here in Mid Ohio. So, but we'll see. I'm still going with Pillow. I'm not going away from that. But for my dark horse, now I was looking at about 3 drivers here. I was looking at Louis Foster. I was looking at Graham Rahal, and I was looking at Christian Lundgaard. And I made my decision based upon previous performances. Rahal seems to have speed, but always chokes it. Louis Foster, it's his rookie year. Lundgaard, man, he's got the most. Or not most, but he's got good experience. He's been running hella good with McLaren, and I think he's proven to a point that he's race win ready with this McLaren team. I'm going with Lundgaard for a dark horse, and honestly, I don't think it's that far fetched. Look how fast Pato was last year. And really, who was Pato racing against at McLaren?
Yeah, his teammate. Didn't have a teammate, really.
His dead dog and his grandma's ghost. I mean, he wasn't racing against anybody. So I honestly think Lundgaard can match or even surpass Pato in driving ability. I think Lundgaard's the guy to take it to Pillow.
I agree. That 7 team has just been on another level this year, man. Like, they've needed a regeneration there because Rossi wasn't doing good, and the 6 car was Zach Brown's little play toy. Who am I gonna fuck up next? Oh man, Jersey Berry says I'm going with Sonny Hayes to win. Great pick, dude. Oh man. All right, now the Sunday, the Cup Series race, the Grant Park 165. I'm not even gonna explain my pick. It's SVG, bro. It's SVG. Had the best car last year until Can't Go Briscoe completely decided to shit on himself and take SVG with him. He would have won last year. So SVG is going to win 2 or 3 races at Chicago Street Course. I think he's going to dominate this race, dude. Like, those Trackhouse cars are good on road courses right now. SVG's has the momentum. Like, it's just, there's nothing to explain here, man. It's SVG all day this weekend. As long as he doesn't get taken out by some dumbass, I mean, it's true. It's so true. Yeah. And then my dark horse, man, this dude put up a fight in Mexico City with SVG. Last year, I think he would have won this race. If you guys remember last year when Bowman won this race and Reddick was running him down, who was the guy that was way further up the road than Reddick was and was absolutely killing it and was going to win that race, but then got put in the wall with that little Keselowski issue. And then obviously Reddick went on to pass him, and then Reddick had the chance to run Bowman down. But if Ty Gibbs didn't get wrecked right there, Ty Gibbs would have won this race last year. 100%, without a doubt in my mind. Didn't happen. I think Gibbs is a very underrated road racer. I said this last year about Bowman. I took Bowman last year as my dark horse, and guess what? He won the race. I'm gonna take Gibbs as my dark horse this year, and guess what? He might just win this race.
That's a great pick. Of course, for my favorite, I'm going SVG. And I'm kind of conflicted here, Jay. Every time SVG wins a race, I buy the diecast. But the diecasts are getting so damn
I
expensive.
know. I can't
I
anymore.
it's
Too
like,
much.
why am I doing? Why am I doing this? Like, I'm looking at the guys that I follow, the cars that I get, because I only buy the cars of the guys I follow, and only their race wins. I never do anything else. That's it. Um, but it's like, man, it just sits there, and the only person who appreciates it is me. I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm looking at my Kurt Busch 2014 Martinsville win,
That's
his
sick
comeback
car.
win,
That is a sick car.
and I'm like, that's the coolest freaking thing I have right there. But I don't know. Maybe I'll buy another diecast this weekend. Maybe not. We'll see. But it's yeah. I don't really think I have to explain myself there with SVG, but I think Van Glizzy gets it done this weekend. I think he's going to have a little bit of competition. I think that some of these Cup guys are very, very good and very capable road course racers. Gibbs, for example. Um, Reddick as well. Um, Allmendinger, I think we'll see up there. Yeah, we'll see. But for my dark horse, I'm going to go off the path here just a little bit. I'm going to go with Brown and number 13 Colleague. I think he's going to have a great teammate, and Allmendinger there. They're going to be able to share information. It's just like SVG in his first time showing up here. He's going to have some great support. He's going to have a relatively fast car. I mean, we saw Justin Haley
Yeah.
in that car. And was it the 13 or was it the 16 that he was in?
I think it might have been a 31 car.
Oh, 31. That's right. Yeah, it was 31. Yeah. Uh, he was putting up a fight with SVG when SVG first race. So I mean, Colleague. I feel like Colleague has, a good program for Chicago. I think Brown can capitalize on it for sure.
Well, and SVG also ran for Colleague last year in this race and in the 16 when he
Yeah.
got taken out. So I think that's a
Yeah.
not bad pick. Yeah. That'd be interesting. That'd be cool. I think it'd be dope as hell if SVG versus Brown at the end, dude. That'd be super sick. Dude. They might burn the entire country of Australia to the ground if that's the case, dude. I'm not
New Zealand.
Or New Zealand, yeah, whatever. Both countries. It'd be a freaking war zone.
It's
dude.
whatever. They're both down
The
south.
entire oceanic continent might just fall off the planet of Earth. Oh man. I'm excited. I think it'd be dope if SVG won both races and they did the Xfinity Cup and they did like a combo diecast set, for the sweep of Chicago.
That would be sweet.
That'd be dope.
It's just more money.
Yeah, more money, more time. Nobody appreciates. Just collects dust. I feel it. Alrighty. Let's do NASCAR fantasy and then we'll do our in-season tournament picks, which some of them go hand in hand, but I like my fantasy lineup this weekend. I'm going SVG, I'm going Reddick, I'm going Gibbs, I'm going Bowman, I'm going Busher. And it's all for obvious reasons. 2 former winners at Chicago, 2 guys that have been really fast in every Chicago race, and then Busher is a great pick as well, I feel like, because he's finished his top 10 literally like every road course. I mean, I was looking at the stats today. I mean, he really legitimately is a top 10 on every road course.
Yeah, so I've got Van Glizzy, I got Reddick, I've got Bowman, I've got Allmendinger, and I've got Brown.
Alrighty. Yeah, that's a good lineup too. I mean, this can be a good one. This can be a good weekend.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's go into matchups. We got Bowman versus Bubba.
Easy.
I've seen so many people saying online that Bubba was going to win this whole tournament thing. I'm like, how is he getting past Bowman at Chicago, bro? Like, how? It's not happening, bro. Bowman can wreck on lap 1 and have half his car ripped off, and he'll still find a way to beat Bubba, dude.
Yeah.
Like, Bowman is an underrated road racer, dude. This is an easy freaking home run pick.
Easy. Right? Yep. Same.
These people saying Bubba's winning the whole thing. I'm like, yeah, if we didn't have Chicago and he had to go against Bowman, I think he could win it. But
Yeah, if there wasn't Chicago and it was Daytona, Talladega, and Atlanta for the 5 races, yeah, maybe.
Shit, I would take freaking Bubba over Bowman in all 35 tracks, but all but a road course. Like if he was against Bowman at like Martinsville or Richmond or just and name any oval, I'm taking Bubba, but it's a road course. I'm taking Bowman. It's not even a question in my mind.
Well, I don't know. I think Richmond could be pretty favorable to the 48.
Maybe.
I'm just saying, like,
Oh man.
yeah,
Alrighty. I guess we're in agreement on that one.
yeah,
All right, next one. I think this is the best matchup of all the matchups, and it's because
yes.
it's Gibbs versus Allmendinger. And this, I feel like this is a coin flip. I'm gonna take Gibbs purely because I took him as my dark horse. I honestly feel like Gibbs can win this weekend. I feel like this is a great place for Gibbs to get a first career win. I could see it happening. If I was to take who's gonna finish top 3 at the end of this race, Gibbs and SVG would be in my top 3 at the end of this race. I think that's gonna be between those guys to win this race. I'll take Gibbs over Allmendinger for that reason.
I'm gonna take Allmendinger. I agree with you. I feel like that this is a good toss up between these two drivers. I'm just gonna take Allmendinger, just to differ, really.
I mean, it could go either way. I could see Allmendinger being a
Yeah.
contender to win too. I mean, it's going to be an interesting race at the front of the field. Next one, I think this one's an easy one. I got Busher over Zane Smith. I don't think there's
Easy,
anything to explain there. That's easy money there.
easy, easy,
And then
easy. I think if you go to a casino and you put $20, you're coming out with $40.
yeah, I agree 100%. I don't think Busher doesn't wreck on road courses. Like that's just it's
No,
simple. Yeah.
he doesn't. He finishes.
Yeah. And then next one is Reddick and Hosen Karsovar, which I think this one's a decent matchup, but Reddick's really good here too. I'm gonna take Reddick over Hosen Karsovar.
Yeah, I just don't think Hosen is there for road courses yet. I just don't think he's at that level yet. I think that Red Dick just takes this matchup all the way. I really don't think that there's a question to it, to be honest. Now, if it was an oval, I think that this would be a pretty okay matchup. But road course wise, I just don't think it's. I think it's Red Dick all the way.
Alrighty. And then we'll do. So those were the 4 of those were matchup match up picks. So we'll do all the other ones that are part of this week's tournament challenge. So the next one would be Ty Gibbs and Brad Keselowski. I'm gonna take Gibbs or Dillon. Ty Dillon versus Brad Keselowski. I'm gonna take Ty Dillon over Brad Keselowski, dude. I'm doing it for the meme. I think he does it this weekend, bro. I want to see him just continue on. I think it'd be the most hilarious thing if Ty Gibbs finds himself in the final 4 at the end of this thing.
I think it would be cool too, but I think that the patience and experience is going to prevail in this matchup, and I'm gonna go with Brad.
Okay. Next one, Elliott and Nemechek. I'm gonna go Elliott over Nemechek because that 42 car I think is cursed at Chicago because Lyle Gregson I think ate the wall about 8 times in that car last year or 2 years ago in turn 6. We got it blamed Lyle's landing. And then who was Nemechek in it last year when he ended up freaking backing it up over the back of the outside wall off the final corner and landed on the tire pack, and then I think he got turned around by one of the SHR cars at one point. I think the 42 is just freaking cursed at Chicago, dude. That's why I took Elliott.
Well, I'm going to take the 42 because there's crazier things that's happened. I think the 9 car winning in Atlanta, he's going to show up hungover at Chicago, and it's going to be a nightmare weekend for that guy. I'm choosing the 42.
There we go. The upset. All right, next one is Eric Jones versus Ricky Roundhouse, which nobody saw this one coming. I'm gonna take Jones over Ricky Roundhouse, dude. I think if Ricky's gonna have a chance to take Hocevar out, it's this weekend, and I think he's gonna be more focused on that than this freaking tournament challenge. I don't even think Ricky even knows how to do math or even knows how to fill out a tournament bracket challenge. So I don't even think he knows who he's racing against. He probably thinks he's still racing against Host and Karsavar. So I'm gonna take Eric Jones on this one.
Brother, it's in his name. We're talking about Ricky Roundhouse here. I mean, just over principle alone, we gotta go with the 43. We gotta. There's no other way around it.
It's a guarantee. I would put money on that matchup right there. I'm not even gonna lie, dude. Oh man. Next one is Priest versus Lyle Gregson, and this is an easy one for me because Lyle Gregson is going. What Lyle last year? He said, I'm okay with this race. I don't care where I finish. I just don't want to land in turn 6." And he didn't land in turn 6 one time. I don't think he'll be able to back it up a second year. I think he will be in one of those tire packs at some point during this race. That's why I'm giving the nod to Priest.
Something about having PTSD in turn 6 or something.
Yeah.
I just don't think that he's a road course driver at all. I just don't think that he cares about road courses. I think that Ryan Preece has a lot more to lose than Gregson. I think that he's kind of racing for his career right now. And honestly, even if he wasn't racing for his career right now, I'd still choose the 60. I think Preece is just that much better.
Yeah. Plus, Gagman thinks he's the main character.
All the time. All the time.
Oh, man. All right, next one is Reddick for... Oh, we already did that one. Yeah, we already did those other matchups. So we're good. Those are the matchups.
Bowman? Did we do Bowman?
Yeah, we did him with the fantasy.
We didn't do Busher and Zane Smith, did we?
Yeah, that one was part of fantasy as well.
Oh, yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. My bad.
All right. Well, we're going to get down to the round of 8 next week, and we'll give you some more picks next week. But I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. Tournament challenge. I mean, it's fun. It's cool. It's whatever. I don't really care. What driver wins $1 million? Whoop-de-doo. Cool. No fan's going to win $1 million because nobody's going to get a perfect bracket. It's never going to happen. They need to do what the NCAA tournament does, and they do a second chance bracket once we get down to the final 8, But that's just me.
We don't think that far ahead here, Jake.
Yeah, we're nasty.
We're lucky to have a half head of teeth, brother.
Yeah, we got 18 fans in the stands and 14 teeth amongst them. Oh man, that's all I got for this weekend's podcast, man. Again, Atlanta's garbage. F1 wasn't the greatest weekend, but it still had some moments. I'm excited for Chicago. I'm excited to IndyCar's back. Some stuff to look forward to this weekend. I mean, I just love road racing in NASCAR. Hate me, I don't care. I if we ran 36 freaking road races a year, wouldn't bother me one bit. We never went back to one more freaking oval.
You could make a freaking movie series off of it.
Dude, it'd be freaking fantastic.
You'd have Recky Roundhouse just losing his shit week in, week out. wanting to beat people up all the time. You'd have Chase Elliott's fan base losing their mind because at one point in his career he was labeled the road course master.
Oh, I know.
And he hasn't won a single race in the entire year. And then now you have people like Connor Zillage coming in. Yeah, super speedway ace. Yeah, like David Reagan. Yeah. Everybody remembers David Reagan.
No, we say it all the time though. Chase Elliott is the next Dale Jr., but he is now, dude. Like the only race he can win is a super speedway.
Yeah, he really is.
It's so far he's fallen, dude. How many comments did I see this past few days? Chase Elliott's a super speedway ace now. I'm like, shut up, brother. We're dumb.
Back. We're going to the ship, boys.
Oh god,
dude. The semantics that they're willing to go through to prove that their driver is the best driver in the grid is just it's honestly it's like watching, like Teo Vaughn do like a stand-up comedian show. Like, it's entertaining.
It is, man.
By the way, I can't believe X is a free app.
I can't either. It's great. I love it.
Like
you never know what you're gonna see, dude. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Oh.
I am surprised some crazy stuff,
not a paid app. I mean, that's crazy to me. It's crazy.
I'd pay it. I
would too, honestly. I would. It'd be amazing. Unbelievable. Alrighty. That's all I got. That's all I got for this Tuesday. We went about an hour and a half. Sorry about the beginning with the no sound. Should have updated OBS the day of a podcast. I should have did that after, or maybe way ahead of time. But was another fun podcast. I guess we'll, if you guys want to stay up to date, everything on the channel, all of our social medias are on our description in the link below. Follow us over there, stay up to date with everything happening here, as well as a link to our Discord. Come join the best racing community on the internet. All the news, rumor, drama, memes, everything you can find for all motorsports around the world right here on our Discord. As well as our merch store where you can buy some Dega Boys swag. That all those proceeds continue to help us make bigger and better content for you guys here on YouTube. We'll be back next Tuesday for another awesome podcast here on this channel on July 8th for episode 130. Hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. Have an awesome holiday weekend with the 4th of July. Make sure everybody ends the week with as many appendages and digits on your hands as you start the week with. And we'll see you guys all. I mean, that's a real fear, dog. That's a real fear.
Holy shit.
Oh, man. Oh, that's a great way to end it. Cut. Catch y'all
Get into
in the next one.